Morning all. Well, this morning I'm up at the shop. Now this is the shop where I actually make a living. This isn't the little shop I have down at the store. And the reason why I'm here is in my last video on where I was showing the classifiers I was going to give away, I had a lot of requests for people wanting to know how I made these classifiers. And I thought, well, that's a pretty cool idea. I'd show you how to make the classifiers, and in this video we're also going to decide how we're going to give the classifiers away. So let's get started on how I build these classifiers. Okay, now the first thing we want to do is we got our screen and we need to pick a diameter. These are 4-inch. Draw a circle and cut them out. Cut them out with a pair of snips, sharp scissors. They actually cut pretty easy. And then once we have our diameter, we have to figure out what they call the stretch out. And you take the diameter of the circle and you multiply it by 3.141, and that will tell you how far around it is to get your stretch out. Okay, we've calculated that out, and that comes out to 12.56 inches. Now onto that, we're going to add a 1/2 inch for our lap. So basically we're at 13 inches. So that will be our stretch out. So we want to cut our metal 13 inches long by whatever depth we want our classifier to be, and I've been using 4-inch, so we're gonna shear a piece of metal 13 inches by 4 inches. Now on the 4-inch, the length side, the screen is not gonna actually end up that deep because we have to fold a hem on the top, and we're gonna recess the screen in on the bottom. So when we're all said and done, we're probably gonna be 3.5 inches deep. Okay, let's go shear our metal. Okay, we got our metal sheared to 4 inches by 13 inches. Now we have to hem one side. Okay, we're gonna put it in the break. So we have just about 1/4 inch is all we want to have showing. And then we just fold it all the way over. That puts a small bend in it. Then we'll put it back in. And that gives us our hem. So we have a nice smooth top. Now if you remember on our layout, our stretch out, we made this a 1/2 inch too long. Okay, now I'm going to show you why. Okay, now we want to be on the inside, which is the side that the lip is formed. This will be our inside. We'll scribe a mark on one edge, doesn't matter which edge, and then we'll scribe down the length of one side a 1/2 inch in, because that 1/2 inch, remember we have that 1/2 inch extra metal. Now along this scribe, we'll take and make sure that this metal is clean, because it's a lot easier to clean it when it's in the flat. And then we want to clean both edges. Now we have where these two marks intersect, we need to remove this metal. So we'll just snip it there, snip it there. And then on the top, we need to remove just that lap. Okay, now we're ready. We got it all notched. We're ready to roll it. Now it really helps to have a set of rolls that has a notch here that's been ground in here. That way this lip that we've been on here is thicker than the rest of this. So if you don't have that, it'll crush this and it'll want to bend this tighter than this. So put that in the rolls and just run her through. We'll spin it 180, tighten the rolls up a little. And run it through again. And we'll do it the third time and we should be good. Okay, we got it rolled. Time to solder. Okay, now that we're ready to solder this, we're going to take a little bit of flux and we're going to paint this inside edge, and you want to stay away from the part that's not going to be soldered. And then on the inside, you don't need to be as careful. Okay, now we're going to put our lap to the inside, get it all lined up, and clamp it. Okay, we're ready for solder. Okay, when applying the heat, I like to apply the heat on the inside, and I will put my solder along the outside edge here. Okay, I think we got it. As soon as it cools down, we'll check the inside to make sure we got it all the way through. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see, but along on the inside here, you can see we have solder that has come through, so we know we're fully soldered. Okay, now to the next step. Okay, now we got to form the groove that our screen's going to set in. And to do that, I'm going to use this machine right here. Okay, this machine right here is what we use to put the groove in the metal for the screen to fit into. Set the depth here, how deep we want it, and then we just run it through and it'll put a groove in there for us. Okay, let's groove this thing. Okay, I'll just run it through once, get it started, and now we start cinching down. Just keep it running it through as we tighten it up. And we're getting pretty close. Okay, you can see we got a nice groove in here now. That's something we can lock our screen into. Okay, now we need to put our flux on our screen. And you want to try to just get the edge of the screen with flux. You don't want to go in too far, because if you go in too far, your solder is going to come in with it. Wherever you put flux, that's where the solder is going to go. So if you come in too far, you'll start filling your holes with solder. But we want to make sure we get the entire edge fluxed. And then we also want to apply flux to this inside edge of this groove, trying to keep it just in the groove. Okay, let's flux this all and then we'll get ready to solder. Okay. We got everything fluxed. Now we're gonna put our screen down in the container here, and then we've got to make sure it goes into that groove. And we'll just work it on around, pushing it into that groove as we go. And hopefully it'll just kind of snap in there. Okay. Now you can see we've got it, fits good and tight all the way around. And now we'll get it set up to solder. Okay. Now to solder this, I got it set so I can rotate it, and it's setting at a little bit of an angle. Now we're going to apply heat to the bottom and the solder from the inside. You want to be very careful to not hit the screen, because the screen will burn up. Okay, once you get a pool of solder formed, now you can rotate this as you heat it, and the solder will flow down. If you run out of solder, you just add a little more. You want to keep that little trough full. And just keep rotating it. Getting a little low, so we'll add a little more solder. Well, basically that's it. We got her soldered all the way around, and we can see solder all the way onto the screen. So we're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the house and we'll finish this video there. Okay, well, I'm back at the house now, and hope you enjoyed the video on how I make those classifiers. Now, on giving the classifiers away, I was totally blown away by the responses I got. I mean, you guys are great. I mean, you really are. It was unbelievable. There's some really good ideas in there, and I've made a list of all the stuff that I really like. And so now I got something to work off of when I want to give something away. And the one problem that I ran into was how to fairly give something away, like with the classifiers. You know, I got 8 of them to give away. How do I pick the person to give them away? If it's just going to be a random drawing, it's kind of tough. If it's, you know, like you're going to guess the weight of the gold I got that day, it makes it a little easier. One of the suggestions a lot of people had was to go to the sites online that actually do this. And I thought, great, that'll work. You know, that puts all the pressure on them, not on me. And I went to the sites to check them out. And it kind of bothered me because they want too much info. And I really don't like giving out my email to who knows who, because, you know, I don't want, you know, 500 junk emails every day. And the more I checked into it, the more I didn't like going that route. So what I come up with was I made a page on my website. and it will only be activated when I have a contest going on. And what you do is you go to my website. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a little button. I don't remember if I called it a contest or a giveaway button. You click on that, and it'll take you to a page where it'll, tell you what the contest is. And then all you put down is your name and your email address so I can contact you. And that way you don't have to worry about your email address going all over the place, because I don't even know what to do with them, to be honest with you. And then after the contest, I'll just delete all that. But once I get if it's just going to be a random drawing, I'll just give everybody a number, and I'll go to one of those online lottos where it just picks numbers for you. And then, if it's ones where you're guessing a nugget or whatever, then I can just take the closest person, and I got the contact information, and it makes it really quick and easy for me, and it'll make it quick and easy for you, because you don't have to worry about your info going all over the place. Okay, well, what I'm planning on doing this time is, being it took me so long to get everything squared around, we're just going to do a random drawing. I am going to go back and find the comment that I like the most, and I will announce that name, and they will get the first screen. And everybody else, if you're interested in the screen, if you're going to use the screen, or somebody you want to give it to, please enter the drawing. Like I say, there'll be a link below, and I will put a start and stop date. Well, basically when it stops, the link will disappear, or the link on my website will disappear. But I'm planning on leaving it open for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, something like that. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate you guys putting up with me. And at this point, I'm starving to death, so I'm going to go make some dinner, and I'm going to say you guys have a wonderful day.